Cool kids do podcasts. Shut up, Jeff. See if this is working now. Hey, now it's working.
Nice. Paul, hey, Ron. Jumping in quick. Everyone was waiting to hit the button.
Got that 1 minute.
Well, yeah. Hey, Elon Bush.
Held everybody up. Hey, Elon.
What are they saying, Jeff? What are they saying?
Jordan Ford said he was excited for today. Paul says it's air guitar time.
Hell yeah.
Van City Raider says RFR Fam Jam and the best intro on the Raider YouTube streets.
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
that's pretty good.
That's very kind.
Richard Hardy said Matt Stafford. That's all he said.
Gosh, we're going to get to that for sure.
Yeah, we will. Jay Morse is in there.
Hey, Jay.
Sacktown Raider Mike. Mark Salter. My wife. What's up, girl?
Chris.
Scott Sweaty's in there.
Hey, Scott. Scott.
We love a good Scott around here.
Dude.
Yeah, we're fans of Scott's.
Except Scott toilet paper. That stuff's terrible.
Oh, yeah.
Not a fan.
You're scraping buttholes up in there. All right, here we go. Let's kick it off. It is episode number 367 or 8 of
67.
Yeah, okay. Of Raiders Fan Radio.
What's up, guys? Hey, it's Mike Garofalo, NFL Network here in the home office, and you are listening to the Raiders Fan Radio podcast, taking that lighter journey into the dark side with Murf, Swag Jeff, and Michelle. She's got great hair. It's a little pink, it's a little purple, whatever it is. I'll tell you what, if I could grow it, I would sign up for that color today. So listen to her and the entire crew as they give you all the information on the Raiders on the podcast that benefits the One Nation Foundation. It's a great cause. It's a great pod. Tune in, turn it up. Here it comes. All that Raiders info and takes coming at you right now.
Jackpot, baby. Raiders Fan Radio.
Oakland, L.A., Oakland, Vegas, Raider Nation, wherever, forever. You got your old Uncle Mosh and Raiders Fan Radio from Murf's Man Cave, taking a lighter journey into the dark side. Sit back, put your feet up, pop a top, and enjoy the ride. Here we go!
Look left, look right, Koleknikov, a leaping pass, touchdown!
We miss you, we love you, and we'll see you in the Hall of Fame.
When you have great coaches, then after you have great coaches, you get great players, you have a great organization, and you tell them one thing, just win, baby.
Way up the middle, intercepted Filipiano at the 50, time running down, Oakland football, and I think Oakland victory.
The Oakland Raiders have scored on the most zany, unbelievable, absolutely impossible dream of a play. Oh, I love this team. I think this team can win.
You are listening live to Raiders Fan Radio. Take it away, guys.
Why, thank you, Brett Musburger. What is up, Raider Nation? Your buddy Murf back once again for what we trust will be a Fantastic episode of Raiders Fan Radio as we cover all the fun Raiders news stories that have come out for the week and just kind of have some fun, just kind of chopping it up a little bit about some Raider football. You guys down?
Let's do it.
Okay, let's do it.
do it.
Absolutely. So thank you for joining us live here tonight at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern each and every week on the YouTubes. That is at youtube.com/Raiders Fan Radio, or you can find us on the old audio podcast. And you can find us there just by searching for Raiders Fan Radio on any of your favorite audio podcast services. And so thanks to everybody that's joining us live. Thanks to everybody that's joined us in there for the audio. And we would just ask you for a favor. Please, while you're in there, hit a like, hit a subscribe, hit a thumbs up, write a review if you're on the audio podcast. All that helps us with our advertising dollars. And with those advertising dollars, we give 100% of that money away to our nonprofit, which is the One Nation Foundation. So thank you guys so very, very much for your support of Raiders Fan Radio and supporting us that way. We love our monetary donations. We love our super chats, the super stickers, the direct donations to the PayPal, all that good stuff, the merchandise sales. But if you can't help us monetarily, no big deal. Just help us out with a thumbs up or a like or a subscribe. All right, so we got a lot of fun stuff to get to. Here we are in the second most offiest part of the off season, but yet we had some really cool stuff happen over the past couple days. We did. So let's get into it right now. So without further ado, let me turn it over to my best friend and yours, the man that adorns the right side of the poker table. He is Swag Jeff. What up, Swaggo?
Man, another Wednesday. It's great to be here. And yeah, I'm fired up to talk Raider football with you guys because, yeah, this is the offiest of the offseason, but we had some amazing sound clips come this week, press conferences, news stuff about, some rumors about some different quarterbacks that might come around and all that stuff. The combine is right around the corner. So, I mean, it's a fun time right now to be a Raider fan. And I love that you brought up the merch right there, Murf.
Oh,
so here at the top of the show, I want to talk about, we got some merch and stuff. So we dropped 2 new designs and
show them there, bud.
Yeah. So the first one here, we got a hoodie, and it is and respect to Jimmy Zebach because he made
little lower. There you go, right there.
Can't see it.
Yeah, right there.
Yeah, right there. So an awesome Raiders Fan Radio shirt right there. So we've got that.
And describe it for the audio podcast.
Oh, for the audio, well, it's almost like it's got like a baseball jersey style feel to it. So it's got Raiders in cursive, and then in the underline, it's got Fan Radio, and it's got our logo right there, which is super badass. So we've got that, and then we've got this other new shirt that we dropped as well. And that is just like a play on the Las Vegas sign.
Yeah.
The Welcome to Las Vegas sign that says, listen to the fabulous Raiders Fan Radio podcast with our logo right there. So super badass as well. So yeah, we can't thank Jimmy Zebach enough. Yeah. And so head to our TeePublic page because, and you can go to just search Raiders Fan Radio on teepublic.com and it takes you directly to all of our stuff right there. And every bit of the proceeds that we make selling the shirts, stickers, hoodies, phone cases, cups, all that kind of stuff that you want, anything you want there, you can get it on TeePublic, and all that goes to the One Nation Foundation.
Right on, man.
Yeah,
absolutely. Dude. So thank you for all of those of you that have supported the show by buying our merch.
Well,
we peddle merch.
We're peddling merch around here, man. Why not? Why not? And we're not going to make one about any current player that's not named Max Crosby or anything like that. Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, we know better than that.
We've learned our lesson.
That's right.
Learned our lesson for sure. So so no more coach shirts or anything like that, unless it's a John Madden shirt or something like that.
Just hashtag Papa Pete. That's all you need to see.
Oh, there you go.
Listen, and I'm running with that thing too, man. I'm running with Papa Pete.
You love some Papa Pete.
I love Papa Pete. I think Papa Pete is a great freaking nickname for him.
Absolutely, it is. It's really good. So we don't do the show alone, Murf.
Gosh dang, hurry up, Jeff. Huh? I said, hurry up.
Well, okay. Michelle Sweat.
Oh, not that fast.
Now look, you went too fast.
Hey.
So it happens. It's okay.
Yep. Every now and then.
What can you do?
Yep.
Hi, Michelle.
Hi. No, it is exciting because there is some like fun things to talk about, and I didn't want to get my hopes up this soon, and damn it, it's happening.
Let's dig in on that
happening
right here at the top of the show, because I think that's something that we've talked a lot about, and I'll set you up like this: that we've had conversations on this show numerous times about. I'm fond of the term "Thank you, Raiders, for relieving us of the burden of expectation," and over the past couple of years, Michelle, we have gotten to the end of the year and we're like, that's it. Like, I'm not going to get caught up in any of this shit again. I'm going to wait until the Raiders prove it on the field. We see it in the stats in the win column. That at that point, I'll get excited. But just like the clowns that we are, Michelle, here we are back again, excited about this Raider team. And we're going to get into everything, but just talk about that part of it a little bit.
I vowed to myself, and also probably in our group chat, that this time I was going to wait until the season started and I got to actually see what things were going to look like. And wow, I didn't realize how easily I could be swayed because just listening to Pete Carroll like speak and Spytek speak, it feels like, and I think you said it the last time I was here, like there are adults in the room now, and like there are actually people that have been there and done that, and it gives like a peace, like an ease, and almost gives you the opportunity to be able to be hopeful about what's coming. I am very hopeful. I didn't a few months ago, if you'd asked me if I was going to have hope in February, I would have been like, hell no. I don't even know if I want to even be doing this anymore. I was so like irritated with what was happening. But yeah, it's weird. It almost feels too good.
It does. It's like, I'm not trying to overblow this or make this bigger than what it is. It feels safe. It feels, when we listen to Pete talk, like it feels borderline staggering to me, the difference between Pete Carroll and Antonio Pierce, or Pete Carroll and Josh McDaniels. When you look at the history of a recent history of our coaches, when you listen to this man, like, I'm instantly in. And not that we weren't in when those other guys first came to the podiums. And I mean, no one was bigger fans of Antonio Pierce than us. Yeah. So we were all bought in for that. But there's different levels to this shit. And here you've got this guy, Jeff, that's highly accomplished in the league already. I'm going to feature a clip here in a second. Highly accomplished in the league already, is highly accomplished at multiple levels of football, championship levels of football, and can also connect to the players. So Josh McDaniels had the resume and not the people skills. Antonio Pierce had the people skills and not the skill set when it came to coaching on game day. Pete's got both of those things, and we know that they're there. This is not like, oh, well, he can do it. He's done it. Now the question is, can he do it again? But there's something that it just feels like.
It's trust.
Yeah. Like, I believe it.
It's trust. It's trust. I trust Pete Carroll. I trust Sean Spytek. I feel like we're in good hands with both of these guys.
Sean or John? His brother Sean Spytek?
I said John Spytek.
Oh, okay.
Is this the give swag shit show?
It must have been them White Claws that stung your tongue already.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah.
But no, I trust these guys, man. I think that we're in really good hands with both of these guys. Just the way that they speak, you're like, wow, like these guys get it. I mean, and not because they also have the resume as well. We've seen them do it, so we know that they can do it again. So why not? Why not us?
Yeah.
That's where the hope comes from, man.
Absolutely.
Trust.
Absolutely, man. It's interesting to be turned around as a fan already this quick. It just, I thought it would never happen. Here I am, almost 52 years old, and I'm like, okay, I'm back in again. Like, here we go, Raiders. So yeah, don't let us down this time. But odds are they will, because they always do, or for the most part.
Don't say that.
Well,
that is one of the places where I'm like, until they do prove that it's going to be different, that I still do have that like in my subconscious. But I really, God, stupid bitch. I really am like so hopeful, so hopeful. I don't even want to say it, but I am.
But then you also got Tom Brady in the mix too.
That's the other thing,
that's
man.
the other thing, man. That's enticing these people to come. So the free agency that's just right around the corner, the draft that's just right around the corner. There's going to be people that want to be a part of what we got going on here, what we're building here. Not only with Pete Carroll and John Spytek, but with Tom Brady as well. These guys are established guys that have done it before. The knowledge that they have is just unreal. And so, yeah, people want to be a part of that. You know, I mean, a bunch of people in the chat right now. Richard Hardy said it's the Tom Brady effect.
Well, and thank you for saying that, because shout out the chat. We haven't shouted the chat room yet. Tell us what they're saying in there and call them out, Jeff.
Absolutely. Scott Sweaty in there. Jimmy Zebach in there. Good to see you, Jimmy. Raider Roo in there. Sacktown Raider Mike. Raider Lorian. Paul. Zulu Raider in there. Yoshi in there, and Yoshi became a member for 17 months at the
Oh my gosh, thank you, Yoshi.
So thank you, Yoshi. Yep, absolutely. Jay Morris from Salt City Silver and Black is in the building.
What's up, Jay?
Martin's in the building. Jordan
Martin.
Ford, yeah. So said Pete Carroll not risking his shot at the Hall of Fame to come here and lose.
Exactly.
Jay Morris said that. So that's
nice.
and that's strong,
Nicely
man.
done.
For sure, yeah. So
Nicely
and everyone
done.
agrees with that too, and you know everyone's on the same page. This hope thing that we didn't think we were going to feel, it's here. It's here.
Don't give me hope.
Yeah, I feel it.
Man.
I'm here.
All right, Jeff. Hit some contact information, contact info, and then let's get to the old press conference.
Absolutely. But before we do that, each and every
yeah.
week, I take
Oh,
a
yeah.
significant moment within Raider Nation related to the episode number.
Pete Carroll shit, man.
I know, man. Yeah, we're like in the meat of Raiders Fan
Yeah.
Radio here at the top of the show.
Yeah.
So
about your
T-Hom
own
sends
meat.
an email that says, hey. T-Hom
Pause.
says, I know I already sent one, but this one's even better, so I'm going to read this one. So in 1967, Al Davis added 3 players to the roster. One, Gene Upshaw, that came via the draft.
Nice.
Another one, Willie Brown, came by way of a trade with Denver. And third, George Blanda, who was picked up after being released from the Houston Oilers. All 3 stellar careers for the Raiders, and all 3 are in the Hall of Fame, and all 3 were presented by Al Davis. 3 Hall of Famers brought to the Raiders in 1967. 367.
Nicely done, T.
There you go, T-Hom. Much respect.
Beautiful.
It's a good group.
Good group.
It's a good group.
Legendary group.
Yeah. Speaking of legendary group, let's hear from Uncle Mosh.
Hey. Woo.
Woo.
Woo! Hey,
Sorry, that was
Raider
a little short.
got old Uncle Mosh here with an updated
Pause.
contact info. So sit
right.
up, zip up,
Okay.
shut up, and
3.2.
pay attention. You
What's
can
that
call
number
us
for that?
at 909-345-3346, or as Murf would say it,
909-345-3346.
Okay.
Email me at show@RaidersFanRadio.com. Or what about reaching out to us on some of that social media stuff Swaggy likes? Try Facebook at Raiders Fan Radio Podcast, the Twit at
Twitter
at Raiders Fan Radio, Insta something, Instagram at Raiders Fan Radio, the
ticky-tacky-tock.
TikTok at Raiders Fan Radio. Or what about the Twitch? Anyway, Twitch at Raiders Fan Radio. Or if you don't like that, go to the YouTube.
America, go to the YouTube.
YouTube.com/Raiders Fan Radio. Oh my God, if that wasn't enough, go to your podcast provider and search Raiders Fan Radio. Holy crap, that was a lot.
Good. Oh.
That was really good.
Go.
That was really good.
Whoops.
Oh, wow. So speaking of good, all the amazing people that are in the chat room tonight, Intel just jumped in the building and dropped $100 to the One Nation Foundation.
Let's go, dude.
Yeah,
Thank
much
you.
respect, Intel. Thank you, my brother.
Thank you so much. And tell everybody where that money's going, Jeff.
It's all going to the One Nation Foundation. So when we realized we can make money doing this show, we didn't want it. We wanted to give it away. So we give it away to different Raiders-related charities like the good folks at the Bolitnikoff Foundation, Raider Dad, Max Crosby Foundation, XOXO Stabler, all these amazing organizations that are Raider-affiliated. We want to give back to Raider Nation. And so that's what we do. All the money that we make, every super chat, every member that you do on the YouTube channel, direct donations to our PayPal, merch, like Murf said earlier, everything that we make comes to the One Nation Foundation. So Jordan Ford just said good with a $10 donation to One Nation Foundation.
Nice.
Yeah. And these are always the shows that blow my mind, man. When we're not giving anything away, we're not doing anything special. The Summer of Swag isn't here, which will be here before you know it, and we've got a good one cooking up for sure. We're gonna do another good one for sure. But just on a random night in February, people are just
February.
It's February, man. Yeah, and we're just giving to the One Nation Foundation. So guys, man, can't thank you enough. That's incredible.
Cannot thank you enough. Thank you,
Yoshi, with a $50 donation.
Oh my
Thank you,
gosh.
Yoshi.
Yeah. Dang. Unbelievable, guys. Thank you so much.
Dude, thank you, Yoshi. Thank you, Intel. Thank you, Jordan Ford, man. That's like Jeff said, man, on a night when we're not doing anything unique or special, we're just talking about the Raiders, man, and hanging out with the best community in Raider Nation. For your generosity to show like that with a $100 donation, a $50 donation, it was George with $10 donation.
Yeah.
And thank you guys so very, very much for that. And our first charity is coming up. We're getting ready to give to Raider Dad here in the next month or two.
Yeah.
As soon as we hit that first number that we're looking for,
Yep.
We're looking to at a minimum match our donation from last year, or maybe even exceed it a little bit. This would be 2 years in a row we've exceeded our initial donation,
Yep.
which would be really, really cool. And the pace that we're on, I don't see any reason why we shouldn't be able to do that here.
100%.
Again, the next month or two. So thank you to all of those of you very, very much for your generosity. Thank you very much for that. All right, first up, let's go ahead and get to this thing we're all excited about, which is this coaching change and this coaching presentation that we've seen here at the Combine, as all the Raiders brass is in town. John Spytek and at least Pete Carroll are not only there attending the Combine, but they're doing press conferences at the Combine. So let's check in with Pete Carroll first. I've got a couple clips for you here. This one was the one that was really interesting to me, and I'll save you the big philosophical conversation, but I'm a firm believer that you always need to be in a constant state of learning. I'm a firm believer of that. Uncle Mosh always says, when fish stop swimming, they die. It doesn't matter how old we get, doesn't matter how seasoned we are, there's always something new to learn. And I think that it's a really good position in life to be, to admit that you don't know everything. And that, now, not to say that if you're not seasoned or tenured in a way, that you shouldn't have a good base of knowledge around a thing, but especially something like the NFL that's ever evolving and ever changing, and it's a copycat league. And unless you were around when they invented the damn thing, it's been a copycat league since the inception of the NFL. And this thing is constantly morphing and growing. And so here we have this 73-year-old man that is highly seasoned, highly accomplished. And what was one of his messages is that he's still seeing things and learning things.
Things kind of slowed down a little bit watching it this time around. When you're in the midst of all of these seasons and every week as you're just so frantically going about, planning for the next game, you don't get the chance to have that perspective and slow your mind down and really take a clear visual look at it. And that was just, it was a real highlight. I knew it was happening. It isn't like it happened and I thought about it afterward. I could tell it was happening. I could tell I could see differently. I could feel the rhythms of the game differently. And I'm really excited to convey those things that I look at differently than I have before. So I have a really strong philosophy about how we do things and why we do what we do. But yet, if you're competing, then you have to be dynamic enough to continue to grow and expand on all of that. So I'm really anxious to see how that plays in.
Isn't that interesting, Michelle? That he kind of offers up this base of knowledge. I've got this philosophy. I've got this way of going about things. But you have to be dynamic, which you got to be fluid. You got to be, and then where I look at, like with, again, to go back to our last two coaches and to contrast these things, with Josh McDaniels, it was the epitome of rigidity. There was no flexibility. There was no movement. Then you go and swing the pendulum all the way to the other side with Antonio Pierce, and it's like, everybody just go ahead and do what you want. Just, and so it was like, now we've got this balance in there where it's like, here's our philosophy, here's what we're going to do, but yet we got to be dynamic in that sense. And so for him to come out, one of his very first things to say now, we've only ever heard him speak once. That was when he was introduced. So now in a public forum like this, to take that position, I thought that was so cool.
Yeah, because you can't always know all of it, even though he's been in the game for so long, but also him being able to step away, and he probably was able to learn even more than like he would during a season when he's just preparing for the next team or the whatever. So he was able to take in like the whole spectrum of it, as opposed to just maybe little bits of what he needed to, because they're always charging to the next, whatever's happening next. So he's going to come away with even more in preparation for getting the Raiders prepared for whatever's coming, down the pipe. So yeah, I think it's incredible.
Yeah, no, I couldn't agree more. I think that's really, it's a cool thing and a great experience that he was able to do where, like you said, when you're coaching and you're in the middle of it and you're in the brass of it, all you're doing nonstop is just preparing for, you play that game and you're preparing for the next team. You're preparing for the next team, preparing for the next team. And then when the season's over, you're preparing for the free agency, you're preparing for draft. It's just never stopping. And so, he removes himself from football for a full year. And it's just like all the noise is gone.
Yeah.
Everything is gone, and you can just focus on ball. And even though he's just watching JV football and stuff like that, he can see how the game is developing. He can see and it's all quiet for him because it's just, I can't imagine being so fast paced all the time in the football world and then just sitting down and watching.
Turn it off.
Yeah, and just watching a freaking high school football game, where you can dissect things and learn things and see maybe, I didn't think about doing it that way and stuff like that. I think that's what happened to him when he took a break from the Patriots to go to USC, and he said, and he had a very similar experience as well. That the game just slowed down for him. He learned a lot, and he was able to take the things that he learned and bring it to the new things. And so now he's got all this experience, with USC, with the Seahawks, with all that stuff. And now he's learned even more, and he's bringing that all to the Raiders. That's incredible.
It probably also reignited the love and the fun and the playfulness of the game, as opposed to just the work and the, preparation and all of those things. He was able to sort of go and do a little bit more of the fun and the playfulness and to reignite that love.
I agree. That's an interesting one, because when you see, we're all parents. You see the world through your kids' eyes or your grandkids' eyes, like he's talking about here. That's an interesting way to describe that, Michelle, is that he's now looking at the game with a completely different sense. You know who else this happened to? Sean Payton.
Oh, yeah.
Remember when Sean Payton was at, and then he comes back to the league and he's doing all right. Yeah. I know he hit on a quarterback, and that certainly helps a lot.
Yeah.
But it's interesting when these guys actually take a break and don't just go straight into the next thing, which, again, come full circle with it. This is why I thought Josh McDaniels was going to be better.
True.
Because I thought he freaking was going to learn his lesson, but he did not. But you can clearly tell that doesn't have the humility and the willingness to learn like a Pete Carroll does. And that's what makes this guy freaking awesome, man. All right, we got another one for you. This was the one that sold me. This was the freaking bow on top, the freaking, whatever, the cherry on the sundae. When he started talking about how aggressive they were going to be, because this was interesting, is that we all can point towards Pete's age and be like, well, okay, this isn't going to be a 10-year contract like we did for John Gruden or whatever. But at the same time, how aggressive were they going to be? Were they willing to just go for it? Or were they going to, draft and build and have a 3-year plan and all this kind of stuff? Well, Pete tells you right here exactly what their mindset is.
What's really unique about our club now is the ownership shift has happened. And Mark Davis figured out the guys he wanted to put together, starting with Tom and then with Egon Durbin and Michael Melvin and Tom. We put together a group of guys that are really freaking jacked to do something special. And it's so heartwarming to me that we're on the same page and we're going for it. And so, you'll see in the efforts that we're making to put this team together that we're not holding back. There's no timeline that we're going to try to do something good somewhere down the road so that we can feel okay about ourselves. We're going for it. And it's exactly the way I wanted to do it, and hope that I would have partners in doing so. And these guys are really big time. And so, hopefully you'll see it'll be obvious. But right now, there's a great feeling about where we're trying to go and the togetherness that we're feeling about that.
That to me, that was the best piece of music I've heard in many, many years. He said, we're going for it twice.
Yeah. He
said, we're not holding back in between them. And that idea that everyone is on board with this. And this doesn't feel, because I feel like Mark Davis has had this sense of urgency before and made some moves. And I think the spirit behind them was well intended, but obviously they didn't work out the way that we all would like them to, nor he would have. Well, now he's removed from that, and the responsibility now lies on Tom Brady. And Tom Brady then assembles this squad now of John Spytek and Pete Carroll and everybody else that's involved with this thing. And they're all collectively don't have a panicked sense of urgency, but a sense of this team is good enough to win now. We're going to feature a little bit from Colin Cowherd here in a minute in terms of the sales pitch from Tom Brady to a particular free agent we're going to talk about. But that whole idea that, and we talked about on the rundown a little bit, Jeff, that this defense was not that far off.
Hell no.
Yeah.
The offense struggled, couldn't sustain drives, right? And couldn't put the ball in the end zone. Like a lot of reasons that the defense was kind of on its heels this year. And oh yeah, by the way, they were depleted by injury. So with a couple of fitments on the defense, we're not that far off defensively. Offensively, aside from number one wide receiver, offensive guard, a running back, and that sounds like a lot, and a freaking and a franchise quarterback. But like those things, they're not unaddressable. And I think that's the difference is that, yes, that's seems like a lot. It seems overwhelming just hearing that coming out of my mouth. But knowing where we're at in the draft, knowing the amount of money that we have to spend in free agency and the players that are going to be available to us, very feasibly, we're not talking long shots here. We're not talking like, oh, gee, it sure would be great to get that guy. Or man, if he could sign a fair deal or take a hometown discount, we could get that guy. That's not the case with this Raider team right now. So even though there are numerous spots to address, it feels like we're still only a handful of these moves away from being highly competitive. And that's not Murf opinion. That's Pete Carroll, John Spytek, and Tom Brady's opinion, and they know a shit ton more about this than I ever will. So I think that's another thing that's encouraging. But like that, there's a difference between controlled aggression and reckless abandon. This feels like controlled aggression. We're going to be very aggressive, but we're going to be smart about it.
Yes.
We're not just going to start flying off and doing some crazy shit because we just want to, hope for the best. Like, no, we're going to be aggressive, but we're going to be really, really calculated with our aggression.
Yeah, I think so too. I took away from that clip right there, and you've heard some of the other things that Pete Carroll says that, it is a process. It does take time and all that stuff, but we're ready to do it right now too. Like, so I like how they have a plan of the right now, but also a plan for a few years down the road too. Like, I feel like that they don't want to win right now and have a flash in the pan. Like, they've got a plan for this to be sustainable now and for us to sustain it for a long time. Building in the draft and all that stuff. Spytek is, notorious for doing that. We've seen his resume, on the grass or whatever.
We're going to get to him too.
Yeah. Okay, well, good. So I like the plan of now and later.
Yeah, this particular clip is what really gave me hope, really added to my hope because, and I said it, I'm going to start sounding like a broken record because the last time I was here, I said that Pete Carroll doesn't come take this position unless he thinks that there is something to be done quickly. And then, of course, he's going to have the thought to think even further than that, but to be aggressive. And that's what everybody wants. There's been so many times where like, why aren't they being more aggressive? So to have that happening now is exciting. And I love that was one of my favorite clips because for that purpose. Yeah, I loved it.
Well, and you made a point, Jeff, about the succession plan. And I think that's been, that you can go all in on a player and you can, speaking of one of the guys we're going to talk about, look what the Rams did with Matt Stafford. They almost sold out for that one Super Bowl, not only to acquire Stafford, but the other players that they acquired in free agency and the moves that they made. Like they traded a lot of capital away to build for that Super Bowl, and they won, and God bless them. And they got a Lombardi trophy to prove the work they put in, but then it put them in a deficit. Yeah. Then they were paying the piper there for a long time after that, and even to the point where we had guys like Corey Littleton come over and rob the Raiders for a few years. But they had a lot of their players leave. A lot of those players that helped them win and get to those two Super Bowls, they freaking kind of sold their souls a little bit. So there wasn't as much of a succession plan as I think there can be with this Raiders team. And so when we look at quarterback, listen, Raider Nation, man, I love all of you so much. But if I see another ride or die person for Aiden O'Connell on social media, my head's going to pop. Listen, he's a good kid. He's a hardworking guy. He's very likable. Yes, he can make some throws. Yes, he's serviceable NFL quarterback. He doesn't start on 31 other teams in the league. I'm sorry, guys. He's not the guy. And I see people doing mental gymnastics and contorting the stats in order to justify Aiden O'Connell. Aiden O'Connell's not even Derek Carr. Okay? Like, let's not make excuses for mediocre football anymore. We got to be done with that. We got to be done. We got to move past it. We got to look to something that's going to be elite or borderline elite. We have to. Otherwise, we're not going to win consistently in the league year in, year out. I'm not telling you don't like Aiden O'Connell. I'm not telling you don't be a fan. But I'm encouraging you, Raider Nation, please, you fan whoever the hell you want to fan. Be realistic. Be realistic. What do your eyes tell you? What do your eyes tell you? Whether that's can't complete a pass after the freaking first half or the first quarter, can't freaking score a point and lose 3-0 against Minnesota. Like, you think about those things, like, I'm sorry, that's his resume on the grass. Like, those are the things about, like, I'm sorry. I like the kid too. And he did a great job for what he was asked to do at the time. He is not the future of this organization. He's not going to be the guy to take us to the next step in the next winning chapter of the Raiders. And it's not just my opinion, because let's check in with our new general manager, John Spytek, when he is asked about what he has in the quarterback room as of right now.
It's a mix of experience, and Gardner's done a lot of good things in his career too. Aiden O'Connell showed some quality stuff in his opportunities as well. So, I haven't seen much of Bradley. So, we're going to see if those guys are where we need to head, or if we got to add to it. But we got to win more games too.
Michelle, you remember the old days before we had debit cards? Jeff's too young to remember that. But remember when we used to have debit cards and you would go through a drive-through and then they would tell you it would be like, whatever the price was, and be like, oh man, I'm like 15 cents short. So you'd go rummaging through your freaking ashtray and your seat cushions, whatever else in your car, trying to find those last 3 nickels so you could hand them to the freaking drive-through person so you could get your food. You remember that?
I do, actually.
That's verbally what John Spytek did, looking for a compliment for the 3 guys that are in his quarterback room.
I mean, there was no definitive, we have our guy, and I know Raiders fans, I get it. Look how long they held on to Derek Carr. Like, it's even just a shred of some positivity, and I think they latch on. And that's probably some sort of trauma response, I'm sure. But yeah, he really, I kind of felt bad because I wanted to turn it down and I didn't want to hear anymore because I was like, oh, he's fumbling so bad, just trying desperately to find something, a shred of a compliment. And I was just like, oh, just stop. Just say we don't have our guy. We don't have our guy.
For sure.
When your kindest compliment is, well, he's done some things.
Yeah, he did some stuff.
But we got to win more games, and that was the nail in the coffin.
That was the nail in the coffin. We got to win some more damn games. So yeah, I don't think that before we get into the big free agency story, well, I want to hit a break before we do that, or potential free agency, a little bit of speculation, but I think the point is there. I don't see a world where Gardner Minshew's on our team. I think that when you look, was it post June 1? We can cut them, and it's like $4 million or something.
Yeah, I think we gained like $9 million in cap space or something like that.
Something like that. Because some people are like, well, why would you wait until June 1 to cut it? Well, because we're going to save a bunch of money. Yeah. Like, it makes his dead cap hit that much less. So I wouldn't be shocked if he's on the team for the next few months, like before we finally make that move. But it could come sooner. I don't know. It depends on what the Raiders do with free agency and how much money we've got and the cap and all that kind of stuff. But Gardner isn't going to make this team. Carter Bradley, I talked all my shit about Carter Bradley and CB14 forever. But, the only reason that I was pining for Carter Bradley was because freaking Ritter wasn't cutting it. And AOC was hurt. And Gardner he was hurt too. So it was like, well, let's put in Carter Bradley. Like, why the hell not?
Why not?
Well, we're going to be well past why the hell not when it comes to quarterbacks this year. So I don't see a world where Carter Bradley's on this team. Frankly, I think if things play out the way that my Murf brain is telling me that they're going to go, Aiden O'Connell's likely your third
quarterback
on the use your P squad guy, or maybe he's your second until the young guy comes a little bit more up to speed. But that's the kind of thing that we're looking at here. with Aiden O'Connell. You guys agree? I think that he's
Yes,
like
totally.
he's the only one in the room that's going to possibly have a chance.
Oh yeah, he'll be the only one that'll still be on the roster.
Yeah,
for sure.
And only because he's on his rookie contract.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, but let me say that before we move on, because I know that you and I agree with you, the people that are, you know, pining for Aiden O'Connell to get another chance to be that guy and stuff like that. I think those are the folks and those are the fans that just want stability. They want,
That's fair.
You know what I mean? They want to have something to hold on to for a while, because, you know, as much as, you know, a lot of Raider Nation was ready to move on from Derek Carr, we were kind of hoping that, you know, post Derek Carr, we were going to have another succession plan ready to roll for when that happened. And so
we should have.
We should
and
have.
And I'm glad you brought that up. I mean to interrupt you here, but like he absolutely should have. Was it the right move to move on from Derek at the time in which they did? Yes. Should there have been a way better plan than Jimmy Garoppolo? Hell yes. So two things can be true at the same time. Was it time for us to evolve past Derek Carr? 100% yes. But they fumbled that move horrifically, Jeff. So I'm with you on that.
Yeah, no, 100%. Yeah, that was my point. I mean, I just think that, you know, everyone, they want stability. They want something. So hold up, let's let these guys cook, because that's coming.
Yeah.
That's coming. You don't have to settle for Aiden O'Connell. It's going to be better. We have a lot better options. And speaking of good options here in the chat room, Matthew Mangus, who just drops a $50 donation to One Nation.
Oh my
Foundation.
I actually dropped 2.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
He
Holy
did.
cow, really?
He says, I fully believe in Pete Carroll and Spytek with a $50 donation. And then he jumped back in there again and said, Gardner Minshew, gone. AOC, gone. Bradley, gone. Raiders are signing a quarterback and drafting a quarterback with another $50 donation.
Thank you.
Dang it, man.
Yeah.
Thank you, Matthew.
Thank you.
Jeez. Y'all are too kind, man. Thank you so very, very much for those incredibly kind donations tonight to the One Nation Foundation. Thank you, Matthew. We appreciate you, brother. And speaking of brother, you and your brother Daniel, you guys have been ride or die for us here at Raiders Fan Radio for a long time, man. We can't appreciate you guys enough. And thank you, Matthew, for that. That's very, very kind. Oh, I almost stole your line. Go.
Hi.
This is AJ Cole from the Las Vegas Raiders, and you're listening to Murf, Mosh, and Swag Jeff on Raiders Fan Radio. Just win, baby.
Nobody enjoyed a good Donnybrook more than sixth-year linebacker Phil Villapiano.
This is Phil Villapiano, and you're listening to Raiders Fan Radio.
All right, so the big speculation that has come out today for the... Oh, you know what? Here, I know what I'm going to do. Let me do this one. I haven't done this in a minute. Where's it?
Man, I've got certain information.
Hey,
all right? Certain things that
nice.
come to light, and given the nature of all this new shit, this could be a lot more complex. I mean, it's not just. It might not be just such a simple. What
in God's holy name are you blathering about?
Well, I'll tell you what I'm blathering about. I've got information, man. New shit has come to light.
New shit has definitely come to light. And so the reports are today that one Sir Thomas Edward Brady IV met up with... I just made that up. Has met up with one Matthew Stafford, your former Georgia Bulldog, Detroit Lion, and current Los Angeles Ram. They met up in Montana. And no one meets up in Montana unless you plan to meet up in Montana, right? Like, just like it's like walking through the mall with Uncle Mosh and people go like, "Hey, Coach Salty." No, it's like you gotta mean to get there, to go to a ranch in Montana and bump into each other. So anyways, the reports are that Tom Brady was entertaining Matt Stafford, and I'm assuming his wife and whatnot, at the frickin' Brady compound at a ranch in Montana, and courting him to be the quarterback of the Las Vegas Raiders. Now, there's a lot of back and forth between Raider Nation on this one. I love it. I think this is a incredibly good fit. I think that when you look at Tom's history, not only is he a peer practically of Matthew Stafford, but his history and others of going and getting that late Super Bowl and then riding off into the sunset, a la Peyton Manning, right? We've seen a handful of quarterbacks do that. And so, Matthew Stafford is going to trust the advice and the guidance and the input, we'll say, of Tom Brady. The Raiders also have plenty of money to get this done. I would say to fans that are out there going like, he's going to want $50 million. That's crazy. It's not. You want him for $50 million on 3 years, or you want Sam Darnold for 5 on 40? That's kind of what we're looking at here. Okay. And I know that there's a camp of, well, we got to move up and get the rookie. We got to get the rookie. I hear that too, that the rookie wage scale and the rookie contract is a very, I think, sometimes undervalued thing when it comes to us fans. Like, you can do a lot by having a good rookie quarterback on a rookie deal. And I mean good, I mean like really good. You got to have like a Jaden Daniels or a CJ Stroud. Like, you got to hit on said quarterback. It's really hard to hit on quarterbacks like that. When you look at the amount of quarterbacks that are taken in the first round, the elite ones, the ones that go on to win a Super Bowl, Russell Wilson, Joe Flacco, we've seen it a handful of times that these guys will go on and win a Super Bowl. The amount of those are very few and far between. The hit rate is not good on that. So that said, would you want the Raiders to sacrifice draft capital to move up and get a guy that's frankly going to be a crapshoot? You don't know how it's going to go. Or do you want to see them invest monetarily, trade some draft capital to get a guy that's going to be in the Hall of Fame? And save me the old thing. 36 years old isn't even old for the earth. It's not even that old when it comes to quarterback play in the NFL. We've seen it. I mean, Tom Brady again. We've seen you can play at this point. It used to be 37 was a magic number. I'll never forget that. When I was a kid, it was 37.
Yep.
LA, Marino, Montana, all the great Jim Kelly, they hit 37 and they fell off a cliff. It was like, that was it. That was the magic number for quarterbacks. Now that number's more like 40. Look at Aaron Rodgers. Like, now you're starting to see, right now he's starting to trail off. Like, now you're starting to see it at 40 years old. So Matt Stafford's is 36 years old. So I think a 3-year deal for a Matt Stafford is a highly strategic and well thought out move for the Raiders. And to then capitalize on that, what's the succession plan? You draft Will Howard, or you draft somebody else to learn behind the guy for a couple years, which we know Tom Brady wants quarterbacks to do because he's a firm believer that the NFL has a quarterback development problem. And he does not agree with drafting guys and chucking them into the game.
Yep.
So there's another reason why I don't think the Raiders are going to move up and draft a guy. I think that they're going to draft somebody that can develop by Matt Stafford. We can have a conversation around who that guy might be. I kind of like the Will Howard move, but there's others as well. Kyle McCord, I think, is one that people love. Like, there's a handful of guys out there. But so you can accomplish two things at the same time. This isn't a stopgap thing. And that's another thing I've seen fans say that, like, oh, this is just a short-term fix. Not if you draft his replacement to develop in behind him, then it's not. And guess what? If Matt Stafford plays for 2 or 3 years, what is the other guy still on?
A rookie deal.
A rookie deal. So it's to me, it makes a lot of sense. Before we get to Colin Cowher's comments here, because he's going to get into the money side of this thing, which is very interesting. But what are your initial thoughts, Jeff, there on the Matt Stafford deal?
Yeah,
because it seems like there's a lot of smoke to this one.
There's a lot of smoke to this one for sure, and I love it too. You know, I think that, you know, he's a proven guy, so he's your win now guy. And then, like you said, I'm all about Will Howard as well, because I like that. I feel like there's similarities in Will Howard's game and Matthew Stafford's game. You know, I mean, you look at a young Matt Stafford.
Absolutely.
It's very reminiscent. You know, the guy that can run, extend plays and stuff like that. Hella accurate and can bomb the deep ball, all that stuff.
Take a little bit of a beating.
Yeah, 100%. So I like that for sure. But yeah, I mean, you know, if it costs us a 2nd round pick or something, I don't know what the Rams are exactly looking for in a trade or whatever. I don't imagine that someone will trade a number 1 pick for Matt Stafford. But if we do, we do. You know, I mean, it all goes back to trust right now. I trust Tom Brady and I trust Pete Carroll and I trust John Spytek. I think all three of these guys know how to win now and in the future. So if that's what it takes, then so be it.
Yeah, I don't see a lot of downsides to Stafford. I don't know about the first round pick. But I guess
that feels like it would be a lot.
That seems like a lot, but also too, I mean, I guess if they think it's right, well, who the hell am I? What do I know? You know, maybe I don't see what they see. So, but it does seem like a lot. But like I said, what the hell do I know? So,
yeah,
I guess you know what? Hell yeah.
You know what? Hell yeah. Yeah.
But and if the Raiders are in the AFC Championship game with Matt Stafford, does anybody give a shit about that first round pick?
Exactly.
No one will care.
100%.
No one will care. That concern will go right out the goddamn window.
Exactly.
As soon as they win a playoff game.
True.
Let alone, God forbid, we make a championship run.
My gosh.
Win a freaking playoff game. I'd trade a first round pick right now. Murf math, here you go. I would give a first round pick today to win a goddamn playoff game.
Yeah, man.
Truth.
How much closer are we winning
real.
a playoff game? Now, I'm not even talking about a championship. I'm going to talk about a win one game in the postseason. Yeah. You don't think with Matt Stafford at quarterback, we can't beat the freaking Texans in the freaking first round?
Truth.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, 100%.
Come on, man.
Yeah, 100%. I think that would be
them picks.
Yeah, that's the part of it that I'm just wondering how it would play out, because as far as the money goes, you know, we've got $100 million in cap space right now. We'll add another $10 million when we cut Gardner Minshew on whatever date that is. So we'll have money to play with. So we've got all this money. I mean, if there's a team out there that can afford Matt Stafford, it's the freaking Raiders, man. Yeah. So I mean, at the end of the day, shout out Max Crosby. I think the only thing that you would really have to worry about is what do the Rams want?
Absolutely. Well, and I'm glad you said all that, because this is a little bit of a lengthy clip. This is 3 minutes long.
Okay.
And it's Colin Cowherd, who you guys know we're not huge Colin Cowherd fans, but when you make a good point, you make a good point. And so Jeff and I talked about in the last rundown, we looked up all the different states that don't have state taxes, and we looked at all the different teams that don't have state taxes. And my point then, a week ago, was don't undervalue the importance of state taxes, and that players and agents are highly aware of that stuff. It makes a big deal when it comes to negotiating, that if you've got a chance to go to a team that's in California or a team that's in Nevada, and you're talking about a contract of $50 million, guess what? That fits into your thinking, and don't fool yourself that it doesn't, Raider Nation. And so check these comments out from Cowherd. He's talking about I'm going to fast forward a little bit through it. But here's about 3 minutes of him talking about the sell job of what Tom Brady would actually have to sell to a guy like Matt Stafford.
Matt Stafford, Chip Kelly OC, Max Crosby, elite pass rusher, and Brock Bowers, an unbelievable once-in-a-generation tight end. That's pretty interesting. And they also landed probably a 10-year center last year in the draft, the highest-rated center. They look to be pretty good at offensive tackle. So there's two things Tom Brady can sell. Number one, no state tax in Nevada. California has 13.5%. Money matters. Don't listen to anybody. No state tax. Number two, the Raiders will give you more years and much more money. I'm telling you, the difference between a 2-year deal in L.A. and a 4-year deal with the Raiders could be $70 million.
Truth.
You have to consider that. I've said this with the Raiders. They check a lot of boxes. Now they got a head coach. They have a left tackle. They've got an elite weapon. They've got an elite edge rusher. Are they wonky upstairs? Yep, they are. Absolutely. But Chip Kelly and Pete Carroll give you a legitimate coaching staff. I always talk about, do you check 4 or 5 boxes in this league? Head coach, offensive coordinator, left tackle, quarterback, one great weapon, pass rusher. Matt Stafford shows up. Raiders check all those boxes. They're a little better than people think defensively. They were all beat up last year, but they gave Kansas City fits 2 times they played them. So this is a much better opportunity than New York. You're playing indoors, no state tax. You've got a brand new coaching staff. I get Chip Kelly and Pete Carroll. That's attractive to me. And the Raiders will give you 3 or 4 years. Rams are not going to do that.
Not
the Raiders would give you $50 million. Rams may not do that. So now this also makes me think. I think, and I'm serious on this, money is something for Matt. All right? He's not going to get all the Super Bowl trophies. Folks, the difference between living in California and living in Nevada, state taxed, if they give you an extra year or two, that could be a $75 million swing. You got to do your due diligence on that stuff. I know you don't think that matters. The media's always said it doesn't matter. It matters to agents and players. It matters to every business guy in the country. What are the regulations? What's the state tax? What are housing prices? I'm just telling you, the Raiders is a very, very interesting fit, and I think Sean McVay and Les Snead and Stan Kroenke know that's the one that scares them. That's the one. I mean, again, he would be going to the other conference. You wouldn't have to face him regularly. That one I'm going to keep my eye on. And this makes me believe that Aaron Rodgers, again, what have I said about Aaron Rodgers? In terms of fit, the Rams are great. Bad coaching staff to great coaching staff. Aaron fitting with the Rams, Stafford to the Raiders, it makes sense for a lot of reasons if, and I don't think he wants to, if Matt Stafford leaves.
That's wild, isn't it?
That's wild.
When Cowherd's fueling my hope, like, damn.
I know, right?
Are the tides really turning? Jeez.
Well, so what do you think?
I mean, he's 1,000,000,000% correct. Like, and that really, now I'm really excited, and damn. Yeah, that's incredible. But I mean, yeah, I don't know. He said something. He said, money matters. I don't care what anybody says. Like, that's the reality. That's the truth. I mean, yeah, there's loyalty and there's all those things, but money is really the bottom line.
Absolutely. We say it all the time, Jeff, that you want to get to the answer to the question, get me to the end of the money.
Yeah.
There's your answer.
There's your answer.
It always is. And I believe him, and I don't begrudge him for this. I believe Cowherd when he's saying that Matt's about some cash. He's not about collecting a bunch of Super Bowl trophies. He wants to get paid at this point in his career. And I don't begrudge him. Like, does that mean he's going to play any less hard? Or is that like, if you had talking about a guy that didn't, I don't know, that resonated, like if he was like Jamarcus was all about the money too, right? And it cost Jamarcus his career, right? And so because he didn't want to work at it, he went like, that's not Matt Stafford's story.
No.
So if he's just looking for one big last payday and a shot to do something good in a different conference here at the end of his career.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. Sounds good to me. Again, what do you care? Raider Nation, I'll just pose it to you like this, and then you turn over to you, Jeff. If the Raiders pay him $50 million a year for 3 years with a 4th-year option, and it costs us a first-round pick, the day we win our first playoff game in 2025, how much of a shit do you still give?
Exactly.
That's my question.
Why would you give a shit at this point right now? With all the money that we've got and the salary cap is going up and we have people that we can release and restructure and all that stuff. Watch us restructure. We'll restructure Max. We can restructure Christian Wilkins. We'll have we'll have like $120 million.
Yeah.
So, okay, we can still re-sign all the players that we want to on
already
defense.
got Paul
We can
Amowin.
still
Shout out
re-sign
Isaiah.
some free agents, Jair Alexander, perhaps. He's a guy that, has also been, given the opportunity to request a trade and stuff like. I know Bobby Wagner's a free agent. That'd be another guy to look at. That's Pete Carroll's guy, man. And that was brought up at the press conference the other day as well. So, I'm telling you, man.
Chris Godwin.
Yeah, man. It makes all the sense in the world, and we have all the money to play with to do it. We check a lot of those boxes. So, and even if we don't want to pay 50, if we pay 47 a year, that's still gonna be the same amount if he was playing in friggin' California.
Yeah.
I didn't realize 13.5%.
Yes, dude.
That's freaking that's gnarly, man. That's a lot of damn money.
Yeah.
That's a lot of damn money.
That's a lot of damn money.
Yeah.
And don't fool yourself, like he said, if you don't think that makes a difference.
Yeah.
That makes a big ass difference when it comes to these guys, man.
Damn.
So yeah. Anyways, what's the chat room saying? I'm curious.
Let's see. A lot of people just hate the fact that they're agreeing with Colin Cowherd. Yeah.
That does hurt.
Yeah, it's hurting a lot of people right now. But Jordan Ford's in there, Raider Roo, Mr. Wilson, Foxy Scorpio in there, Yoshi in there, Scott Sweaty, Raider Way, Jay Harris is in there, John Parker in there, Jesse Cardenas is in there. Van City Raider in there. Robert Pena, Raider Roo, Zulu Raider in there. SoCal Sal, Paul. Raider Dank Vader in there. Bo Lupo is in there.
Hey, Bo Lupo?
Ron is in there. So yeah, we got the whole crew, man.
That's awesome, man. Well, hey, before we get to the Sea of Fans mailbag, which is where we hear from them, because more of you and less of us is a good thing, I got just a few little notes here.
Okay.
I'll give you this one first.
Oh, nice.
Because I know you like swag.
Oh, yeah.
Love swag.
That's why your nickname is Swag Jeff, for those keeping score at home.
Oh, I thought you were telling me.
I did too. Wait, what?
You're like, I know this, man. Okay, top selling NFL team gear.
Okay.
For the year 2024. Okay. Let's go a little round robin here and guess. We'll give Jeff the second guess.
The number one?
Well, no, just give me. So I've got the top 10. Top 10 teams. Team selling gear. Okay.
Kansas City.
Kansas City is number 5 on the list. Okay, Jeff.
I mean, do I just guess Raiders?
Sure, you should, because they're number 2.
Hell yeah.
Hey.
Absolutely.
So before we go further, what kind of swag is this? Is this like
jerseys?
Is this from like lids or something, or is
Any
this from
official
just
NFL team
any
gear?
NFL
Yeah.
gear? So whether it be a jersey,
You're
a
the
hat,
SWAT
or whatever.
guy over here trying to define everything.
It's
Well,
bro.
just curious. Okay.
I just assumed Travis Kelce's sales skyrocketed.
Yes.
And that was my
Yeah. Because casual NFL fans are not buying Chiefs shit.
no.
Right.
Yeah.
No.
You know what's interesting? This is not even where I thought this conversation was going to go. Have you guys noticed a drop off in the bandwagon Chiefs fans?
Yeah. Yeah.
They're not there
Boy,
like
they
they
left
were.
quick. Yeah.
Quick. And I think because there was that whole Chiefs fatigue thing.
Yeah.
I think that shit was real. Like the casual fans,
Yeah.
Not interested anymore.
Yeah.
they're not interested.
Mm-mm.
Fascinating.
Love it.
Yep.
Love it. Yes. Okay. So so the Raiders are at number 2, Kansas City number 5.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh,
Oh God, I just can't imagine anyone else buying any other team's gear. What about the Eagles?
Eagles number 4 on the
Okay.
list. Good one, Michelle. All right.
Buffalo.
Not on the list.
Interesting.
Yeah, no Buffalo.
Okay.
Bills Mafia, where are you at?
I'm naming all the teams I hate. Dallas.
Dallas, of course, because they're
Yeah.
I'm surprised they're not higher. I'm surprised they're not number 1, which they're not. They're number 3.
Okay, number 3.
So Raiders at 2. So now we've got 4 of the top 5 out. We got Raiders, which I'm shocked the Raiders are number 2. Like I know what we sell, we sell well.
Yeah.
But as down as we've
Isn't
been,
that crazy?
it's still rocking number 2, man.
Yeah.
Who the hell's number 1?
It'll make sense when you
when I
hear it. Yeah.
hear it.
Speaking of bandwagon, yeah,
Niners.
they're number 1.
Are they number
okay.
1?
Niners are number 1.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, the freaking Niners, man. But that's the ultimate freaking bandwagon fan
Yeah.
base.
really
Is the
is.
quote Niner faithful?
Yeah.
Just give me a break.
Give me a break.
All right, got 5 more. So the bottom 5, you guys.
Okay.
So we got 1 through 5?
You got 1 through 5. Proud of you guys.
Hey, that's pretty
You
good.
guys crushed it.
Nice.
Yeah.
The Steelers.
Number 6.
Okay.
Nicely
Hey.
done, Michelle.
Score.
Yep.
Let's see.
Now it's going to get a little challenging. This starts to. Well, one of them makes perfect sense, but
Okay. Ravens.
no, not on the list.
Okay.
The Bears because
Yeah.
of, okay. what's
Because
his
of
name?
Caleb Williams. Yeah, number 9.
Okay.
Number 9. Yeah.
Okay. Well, so then does that mean Commanders?
Yeah, that was thinking.
No,
that.
that's
Okay.
interesting, but I think there's too small of a fan base.
Okay.
I don't think the Commanders fans. I don't because I'm sure every Commanders fan out there has a Jalen Daniels something, Jaden Daniels something. But but they're just not a big fan base.
Okay.
Yeah. The Texans.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
No kidding.
Michelle's kicking ass.
Who knows
this
swag?
thing.
Yeah, you're kicking my
You're
ass.
getting out swag.
Yeah.
Michelle
Swag
James,
Michelle.
You're swag bitch now.
No,
The Texans are at number 10. So you guys, we've got 2 left. Number 7, number 8.
Okay.
7 and 8.
Patriots?
No. No.
Like, yeah, I guess that bandwagon's
Yeah,
over.
way over.
The Rams.
No, that's a good guess. Yeah.
Buccaneers?
No, you guys are missing a big one. Kind of easy compared to how good they've been lately.
Green Bay.
No, not Green Bay. That's a good guess.
Cincinnati.
No, that's
okay,
along
that
those
is a
lines.
good guess.
Along those lines, but no. Other conference.
Well, I can't imagine another team selling gear. well.
The Jets?
No. Think about who's good.
I don't give a
shit. The Ravens.
No, he already tried that. Yeah.
Oh, do we already guess that?
Yeah, I guess that one.
Oh, well.
In the NFC, okay, is it?
There are two teams. One's NFC, one's AFC.
The Jets?
No, same conference or same division. One's mid, one's really, really good.
Dolphins.
There you go.
Okay.
The Dolphins are in there, and then the last team.
Okay.
Surprised you guys. This one was the last one you'd pick. I figured this would be one of the first ones. Think about who's good, who's been awesome, like over the past few years, and everybody loves them. No one hates this team unless you're in their conference.
The Packers?
No, you already guessed Packers.
Oh.
It's the same damn division. Come on, you two.
Same division as
the
what?
Lions.
There
The chat. I got the chat was saying.
Chat got you.
The chat was probably screaming at us.
They were screaming it.
Yeah.
Good for you, Chad.
Jordan Ford says it's Swag Michelle and the lovely Jazz.
No, Raider Dang Better said I was cheating. I was deliberately not looking in the chat, so I didn't.
No,
cheat.
yeah, I didn't
but
look in
I
the chat
finally
either.
had to look for that last one because I couldn't think of another damn team.
Yeah.
So we got Texans at 10, Bears, Dolphins, Lions, Steelers. Then your top 5, Kansas City, Philly, Dallas, and then we are number 2, which again surprises me. And then then the Niners are number 1. You know what? I'm gonna give you one more reason why this surprises me.
Why is that?
If you counted all the shit that's not official team gear,
Oh,
we're number
gosh,
1.
are you
we're number 1
kidding?
for sure.
Absolutely.
Everybody that buys this
All
shit,
this stuff
Yeah.
right here.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. You think about all the quote unofficial jerseys you see running around Allegiant
Yeah.
Stadium. Yeah, we'd be number 1. All right, so I've got a couple more notes for you.
The chat really was yelling the Lions. It's in all caps.
They were hella mad.
But also, how the hell did we miss that?
Yeah, well, that's okay.
kind of embarrassing.
But you guys nailed the top 5.
Well,
that
that's
was solid.
true. That's
That is
true.
true.
Solid.
That's
Let's
really
not.
what
That is
matters.
true.
That's true. You're
let's
right.
not let the,
Hey, we did
the
good.
line of Lions.
We did good.
Let's not let that
That's
overshadow. You're all nailing the first
That's very
5.
true.
Yeah,
That's
we
very
did.
true.
We did good.
Well
We
done.
did
Well
good.
done. All right. So, well, not speaking of anything. This is a bad segue, so I'm just going to go into it. The 3rd edition of the NFL Players Association team report.
Speaking of the NFL.
Yeah, speaking of the NFL. Speaking of the next note on my list. So the NFLPA, the Players Association, they all have all the players submit their basically a ranking or a vote or a score for the facilities for everything around the team that they're currently playing for. The Raiders came in this year at number 4. So out of all 32 teams in the NFL, the Raiders were ranked 4th in terms of best in these categories. Treatment of facilities, they were number 8. Food dining area, they were 3rd. Nutritionist and dietitian, we were 1st in the NFL.
Oh.
Locker room, we were 7th. Training room, we were 2nd. Training staff, we were 5th. Weight room, we were 4th. Strength coaches, we were 4th. Team travel, we were 2nd. Head coach, number 16. And ownership, we were 6th. So that's a 4th overall in the entirety of the NFL, which is cool. What stood out to me was that head coach, we were 16th in the NFL. Remember all that talk about Antonio Pierce never lost the locker room and all that kind of stuff?
Mm-hmm. He lost some of them.
Lost some of them.
Yeah.
He lost something there to come in because everything else is in the top, if not 10, top 5. Except for that one. That one's the only one that's in the team. That was interesting. And I'm not.
And who voted for this? The players?
The players. This is the NFL Players Association. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. And then the last thing I got for you is this last note before we get into the Sea of Fans. You can thank the Buffalo Bills for as much as we hated it when it happened, but that lack of a 4th and 1 call when Josh Allen didn't get awarded a first down when we saw the ball cross the goal line. The NFL now, as according to today, plans to implement an electronic system to measure first downs this upcoming season. The chain gang will remain on the sidelines as a backup.
Fucking finally.
Yep.
After all these years, let's take out the freaking the human error that's unnecessary. Let's take out the judgment call that's unnecessary when it comes to in and out of bounds, attaining the goal line, attaining the line to gain, crossing the goal line. Put it on the damn computers. Tennis does it. Soccer does it.
Yeah.
Baseball does it. Like everybody else has got these RFID chips in the ball that can tell you exactly where it's supposed to be. So as much as that sucked, I'm really thankful that the NFL did this. And you know what? I think back to conversations that we had, a month ago on this show when we were railing against the NFL. And everybody, the collective opinion of not only Raider fans, but of sports fans were, this thing is broken. This Chiefs shit that's going on is ruining the integrity of the league. And ever since then, what have we seen? Flags and whistles in their pockets for the Super Bowl. And now they freaking finally implemented some technology. The NFL heard all of us loud and clear that the diehard fans like us, the hardcore fans, not the casual fans, they're going to be there no matter what for the playoffs and whatever. But the people that are in there, snap in, snap out every single game, Sunday ticket, traveling to game, you are losing us. You being the NFL.
Yep.
We're losing us there for a minute. Thank God they did this stuff because now I can have confidence in the integrity of the league. And I'll save you the whole discussion around why all that other stuff happened and led up to it and all that, because I think that there could be a multitude of reasons there. But the fact that they heard it and they've made these changes, Michelle, that restores a little bit of confidence. Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't want to say it happened quickly, but it felt like it did. Like it felt like the uproar sort of happened, even though we've probably been saying it for longer. But it sucks, but it was going to take a call or something like that for it to change. And God, finally, geez.
Finally.
Yeah. Yeah. And I hate that it was the Chiefs that brought this on. I mean, because you look back at it'd be interesting to see over the course of the last 20 years, how many more games the Raiders would have won had something like this happened.
Oh my gosh.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Because I feel like we've always been on the opposite end of those heartbreak games and stuff. You look at the friggin' Gene Steratore index card game.
That never happens.
It never happens.
That would never happen now.
No,
period.
no,
that would never happen now.
Yeah. Yeah. That was the first thing I thought of when you brought that up earlier, that holy shit, we would have never seen an index card.
Yeah.
Bananas, dude. It's bananas.
So,
but good. And so now hopefully the next step is that the NFL hires full-time officials.
That's got to be.
We don't need 138 part-time guys. Let's get some freaking guys in there that are full-time people that know what they're doing and all that stuff. So
that's it. I think I'm with you. I think that's the next move that has to happen.
How is it already
how has it not
that's
been?
Ridiculous. Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Because it can't be a cost-saving thing.
You're
the
the
most
NFL.
wealthy sports organizations on the planet.
Give me a break.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, more of them and less of us, right?
Finally.
There he is, fading, looking. He's under the gun. He's fired, he throws. It is.
I appreciate everybody that's joining us here tonight for this episode of Raiders Fan Radio. Appreciate everybody that's in the chat room tonight. I'll leave that to Michelle to shout you guys out. But thank you also very, very much for joining us live. You can find us live each and every week at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern here at youtube.com/Raiders Fan Radio. Or you can find us on the, we're all over the interwebs.
We're all over.
All over the interwebs. Anywhere that you're on social media, you can find us. Just search Raiders Fan Radio. You can find us there. And you can also find us on the audio podcast, where you can find us just by searching for Raiders Fan Radio. That's Apple Podcast. That's Google Podcast. That's iHeartRadio. That's Pandora. What's the other big one? Oh, Spotify. That's Spotify. And we're on all that stuff. So if you're an audio podcast listener, please hook us up there with a little bit of a rate or review. And subscribe to the show, hit that automatic download, anything you can do to support Raiders Fan Radio, whether it's monetarily or in that way, we appreciate that so very, very much. All right, so here's what we hear from you, because more of you and less of us is a good thing. And you can contact the show a multitude of ways by going live into the chat room and joining us live there at youtube.com/Raiders Fan Radio, or you can email the show. You can email the show at show. Mm-hmm. That is S for Stafford. H
for Howard.
For Howard. O for that would be badass. W for wow, that really would be badass. So that is SHOW at RaidersFanRadio.com, or you can call the show at 909-345-3346. That's 909-345-3346.
You little bitch.
I love doing that to you.
Yeah, you do.
Sneaky.
Yeah, every once in a while, gotta get that in there. And
Pause.
Hey. And yeah, call the show. We only had 2 calls this week. I don't know how many emails we have. We only had 2 calls. So we got it's second offiest of the off season. So I get it. But yeah, call the show 909-345-3346. And Michelle is going to read out your emails. And but before you do that, Michelle, if you don't mind, shout out the chat room.
Can you? I already pulled up the emails.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Absolutely, I will.
Hurry up,
And
Jeff. You're not doing nothing.
And hey, if you want to email Murf your mock drafts.
Oh, jeez.
He would love that. He would
How
love
do you
that.
do mock draft? Okay, I gotta.
Oh, geez. What have I done?
How the hell are you doing mock drafts before free agency? It doesn't make any damn sense to me. And I saw there is now, check this shit out. You want to hear about a bucket of bullshit?
Yeah.
These son of bitches out there are putting mock drafts behind paywalls.
Oh, stop.
Really?
I don't know who's the bigger asshole, the one that's putting the mock draft behind the paywall or the people that are paying for the freaking mock draft behind the paywall.
Oh,
don't pay for a freaking mock draft in February.
Oh, no.
Don't pay for it, period. It's someone's opinion.
Who is paying for mock drafts?
Come on. Don't waste your money. Give it to us. We'll give it away
to the foundation.
We'll give it to Raiders-related charities. It blows my mind. And listen, I'm not trying to make...
speechless.
I'm not trying to...
I am too.
Piss on anybody's good time. And if that's the way you get down and what... Knock yourself out. Your money, it's not my money to spend. But I will tell you this. Your opinion is just as valid as that stupid mock draft you're getting ready to pay for.
Yeah.
Don't freaking do that, man. Jeez.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, mock drafts. I'm going to put my fantasy football team this year behind a paywall. So if you want to know who to draft, it's only going to cost you $9.
Oh my
and then you
gosh.
can come and check out my fantasy football team so you can replicate it.
Yeah, absolutely. And all yours is all Raiders on
It's
your
all
fantasy
Raiders.
team.
It ain't hard to figure out.
Yeah.
That $9, I'm going to give it to the One Nation Foundation.
There you go, for sure.
Same.
Frost my cupcakes like a mock draft.
Oh my gosh, you love that shit. You love it. Hey, so Ron the Materator's in there, SoCal Sal, Martin's in there, Hooligan Nation, Raider Dank Vader, Jordan Ford, John Parker in there. This is outstanding show. Thank you, John. You're outstanding as well. Let's see. Paul is in there. Chuck Raider in there. Bo Lupo is in there. Jordan Ford, Raider Rude, James Farrell is in there. Yoshi is in there. Let's see, Van City Raider in there. Yeah, we got the whole crew, dude.
Word. All right, first.
Sorry, I got you wiping your nose.
Shut up. I'm off camera.
Oh.
All right, well, first we have...
When you get old, you get a
Picking a
runny
wedgie
nose.
or something like that. Oh, my God. I said at least you weren't picking a wedgie or something like that.
Oh, man. I'll do that on camera.
Yeah, you will. You're standing up to do it now.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, watch this. All right, we got Hooligan first.
Hey, Hooligan.
What is up, RFR crew? Your friendly neighborhood hooligan here. Just like that, we're back into football with the Combine. If you didn't get a chance to listen to Spy's presser, I like that he's 100% open-minded, that nothing is off the table. Coach seems to have his back, which I really like. Then we hear the Browns are willing to move on from the number 2 pick. The plot thickens. Tons to see and hear before draft day, but man, football is back, kinda.
Yeah.
Love Paul Mao getting an extension versus a tag. Now let's lock up Max. Anyway, cautiously optimistic and excited. Raiders!
Nice.
Thank you, Hooligan. All right, next we have Martin. Oh, let me pull it up. There we go. Hey, gang, from the land of 4 seasons in a day and a TV show about sheepdog trials that ran for 23 years. Firstly, no audio from me this time because a week of sickness has left me with the mother of sore throats and a voice like the movie trailer bloke. Oh, that's a bummer. I'm sorry. Hope you're feeling better. So here we are at the end of another head coach and general manager presser that's left me with a totally different feeling from what I got from AP. Pete in particular is a man who exudes a quiet confidence in his experience, something we've not heard from a Raiders lectern in a long time. Would I run through a wall for Pete? Does he get me pumped for the next game? No, but I would carefully consider remortgaging my mother. I'm sure many Raiders fans are looking forward to the Combine. I don't follow college football, so a lot of the players on the show would be new to me. I know so little about the offseason, in fact, that I've been looking up the definition of certain words and phrases. Cap space, the distance between your scalp and your headwear. College draft, the air that blows under the door of your dorm room. Unrestricted free agent, James Bond. In conclusion, this week, some well-named players in the NFL. Dart, what he throws. Gainwell, what any running back should do. Chase, what he makes people do. Max, what he gives. Derek, built like a crane. That's enough nonsense for me. Go Raiders.
Nice.
That was Martin.
Nice, Martin.
Nice, Martin.
Let's see. Then we have Paul.
Paul?
Evening, everybody. I hope you're all well. Following Murph's Led Zeppelin email and a Billy Joel version for Swaggo, I promised Michelle an email based on one of the greatest bands ever, Steely Dan.
Oh,
so
nice.
here goes. After a turbulent season last year and some coaching changes following Black Friday, we're ready to do it again, this time with Pete Carroll, who may be reeling in the years, but still has a lot to offer. It was vital we didn't just grab any old coach off the peg. We needed experience to cope with the dirty work. And any major dude will tell you that Coach Carroll fits the bill. At least he's not some visor-wearing fool or like AP with his bad sneakers. A wealth of knowledge and great history could lead us to a Super Bowl before you know it. And maybe not this season, though. Only a fool would say that. Maybe. So next it's on to free agency and the draft to find ourselves a quarterback. Do we go with someone like Matthew Stafford, who reminds me of a guy at my old school? Aaron Rodgers is a possibility, although he'd probably want Devontae Adams with him, and we've already ditched him once in some kind of Haitian divorce. Or do we draft one of the showbiz kids like Shador Sanders or Cam Ward? Our draft history is still generally bad after years of mistakes, but we can't dwell on a time out of mind. We have to focus on the future and continue to learn from those previous errors of judgment. It's not like the good old days when we were in Oakland, northwest of Hollywood. Things are different now, and everything must go our way, or we could still be waiting for Asia's for that invite to the party. So I'll be glued to the TV on March 12th for the start of the new league year with my snacks at the ready, searching for some kind of pretzel logic. The countdown to ecstasy starts here, Coach Carroll. And finally, if you don't listen to Steely Dan, you're doing life wrong. Stay safe, RFR family. Love you, Raider Nation. His Lordship, the Royal Scribe, Paul Edgerton, Shropshire, Mississippi, Polly Award winner 2019 and 2022, Foggy Glasses Award winner 2020, Made Man of the Year 2024, BRT Slizzler scorekeeper, proud made man, five times times 4 plus 4, winner of the Raiders Fan Radio BRT Sizzler Award.
There you go,
Nicely
Paul.
done, Paul.
Well
Thank you,
done.
Paul. That was awesome.
Well done.
How many of your favorites were in there, Michelle? I know they're your favorite band, so they're probably almost all your favorites.
Yeah,
but-
they were all. Any Major Dude is one of my favorites, and Time Out of Mind. So he hit a couple of them. I like them all though. They're all good.
Well, you know, it's funny because we were talking about last time that Steely Dan came up. I'm like, I'm not as fully familiar with that band. But then listen, I'm like, oh yeah, I know that song. Oh yeah, I know that song. I know that song. Yeah. Right on, Paul.
Yeah,
that was
a lot
cool,
of
man.
good ones in there.
I like all the musicality of it, man.
Me
That's
too.
fun.
Me too.
Me
Yeah,
too.
that's
That's
great.
fun. That's
great.
Mm-hmm.
All right, next up, we're going to get to your voicemails, which we've got 2 voicemails to get to. So let's start off with 559. That's our buddy Jacob in Fresno.
Hey.
Jeff, Murf, Michelle. This is Jacob from Fresno, guys. I just want to do a little bit of recount. The last few years, we've had a couple highs, right? We've had some highs, we've had some lows. Let's look back. Let's take a little sneaky peeky in the past of Raiders fans to be a part of the silver and black. Let's think of the highest of highs.
I'm sorry. I screwed up something so bad. Do you know what I did wrong?
What'd you do?
Oh, you
Blew it.
Yeah, you blew that bad. Yeah.
Hope you didn't curse us.
Paul's not going to email us next week.
Gonna go on strike.
Yeah.
Paul, your name Paul?
Paul. Paul.
I met him with Paul. Who? Paul.
Paul, yes, Paul.
Paul's not here. Hey, Paul. Paul.
Hi.
I'm Paul.
Geez, sorry about that, Paul. What's that? There's a movie where they're like, "Boo this man."
Yeah.
It's like, "Boo." That's
Yeah.
I deserve that, man. Sorry, Paul.
Well, since you did that,
Yeah.
Hooligan Nation had a super chat of
Oh,
$9.
nice.
He said, "Let me get that mock, Murph." Well, you got to pay for it.
Oh, okay.
Thank you, Hooligan. Damn it! I should have said $29. No, I'm kidding. But thank you, Hooligan.
$500 for a mock draft.
$500 for a mock draft. Oh my gosh! Yeah, thank you so very, very much for that, Hooligan. 100% of that money, as you know, my friend, is going to go to the One Nation Foundation. And Paul, sorry, man, I screwed up your outro there, bro.
Damn, man.
Ron said Paul just knocked his beans on toast over in a
He spit out his bowl of water.
Oi!
Bloody hell.
Well, I almost said crikey, but that's Australian. Sorry.
Oh, gosh. I just wish he would have referenced spam, because that's my favorite, my Monty Python skit.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't like spam. Spam. Beans and spam, toast and spam, sausage and spam, spam. And that's how it sounds. That's not me making fun of it. That's
No,
yeah.
that's what it is.
But I don't like spam. I love that. Every Englishman and English woman now is cursing me.
Yeah. Unsubscribe.
All right, so I got booed twice, but from across the pond. Yeah,
you did.
Once for screwing up Paul's bit, and then another one for doing Monty Python spam.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, go Google that one, kids. You'll laugh. It's funny.
There you go.
All right, let's get back to Jacob in Fresno.
Jeff, Murf, Rochelle. This is Jacob from Fresno, guys. I just want to do a little bit of recount. The last few years, we've had a couple highs, right? We've had some highs, we've had some lows. Let's look back. Let's take a little sneaky peeky in the past of Raiders fandom to be a part of the silver and black. Let's think of the highest of highs in the last 3 years or so. Let's say that Chiefs game last year, that Christmas. That was great. Let's just take a second. Just remember Travis Kelce and Patrick Mahomes on the sideline. There's nothing they can do. They're just losing, and they can't get themselves to not lose this game. That just felt great. That was great to watch that, to see that the Chiefs were just helpless on the sideline. Jack Jones staring down Patrick Mahomes as he runs to the end zone. That was a great day. That was a highest of high moment, I think. We've had a lot of lows. Let's think about, I don't know why this is popping in my head so long ago, but let's go there. Ryan Fitzpatrick, Hail Mary pass. The Dolphins come to Vegas, he gets the face mask, then he doesn't even need to convert, but he does anyway because he's Ryan Fitzmagic, and it's got to be against the Raiders, right? Think about those kind of things.
That was terrible.
But you know what? What's in our future? I'm hoping it's the highest of highs, right? I'm just going to Pete Carroll. I'm begging. I'm just saying, Pete, come on. Can you take me higher? We'll keep the breath. We'll feel the streets. Something like that.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just
something.
I'm back here with Scott Staff.
I don't know.
I'm playing the guitar, and he's just going crazy. Oh, I feel like I'm for the first time. Like he's a Cowboys fan or something. I don't know what's wrong with him. But I just want that back, the highest of highs. Just please, can you get me higher?
Are we singing
because
Creed?
I'm so low right now, Raider Nation.
I think he's singing Creed.
Let's get excited about the offseason. I can't be excited about the season yet because I don't know who we got, who we're going to get, what kind of team we're going to even put out there. But let's stay excited anyway, guys. Right side of the whatever this thing is. I always mess it up. But I ain't taking it easy. I'm going to run out of time. Go
Jeez, Jacob.
That was good from what I heard of it.
Testing the audio limits of the audio technique.
Yeah, I'll trust your word because that was.
Oh my gosh! So we do an award show here every year, usually around July. The Fannies is what we call it, and there is a category for best live performance.
I don't know if that one's going to get nominated.
It could.
Okay.
It could.
Yeah, if it's the only one we've gotten.
I don't know. I think.
Have we gotten other ones?
Well, yes, because it's for the calendar year of 2024, right? So in the calendar year of 2024 was Steve's live performance of "Let Me Ride That Donkey, Donkey," when he did that for 37 seconds straight, and we're like, "Hit the please, please." Then he finally hit it. That was hilarious. But that one's up there.
That's up there.
That's up there. There's others too.
Actually, I do have an email that I missed, and Van City let me know.
Oh yeah, great. Yeah, read it. Yeah, please.
Good morning, RFR family, and salute to my two main dudes, Murf and Swag Jeff, and my main girl, Michelle.
Can I stop you real fast too? Van City Raider, congratulations on winning the Four Nations tournament, man.
Oh,
that was huge. We were locked in big time on that Four Nations, that USA Canada rivalry, and so shout out. I know he's a big hockey fan, and man, that was fun. Me and Swag and I watched that together last week. That game, man, what a game! I mean, yeah, it sucks to lose, but to lose in overtime to arguably the best team in the world. Game. That was a good ass game, and that was a fun ass tournament. So, anyways, congrats to Van City there.
Congrats. I hope the three of you are doing well. It's been a long while since I emailed the show, but have decided to do so as I would like to share this with the three of you and our RFR family. I've just recently had one of my very first bigger than football moments, and it's something I'm very grateful for and something that has come full circle for me. As many of you know, and those that don't, I grew up in Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada, and live here to this day. I grew up in the Pacific Northwest, about 2.5 to 3 hours away from Seattle, and grew up watching our new beloved head coach on Sundays with my old man. NFL Sunday was a sacred day in my life, and it was my dad's. For a good 15 years, I would put the outside world on hold, as would Dad, and we would just enjoy our time together and our love and passion for the game of football. My dad was a diehard Seahawks fan, as I was growing up with silver and black in my veins. So more often than not, we would split the screen and have both games on. Pete Carroll was my dad's guy. He loved Pete. He would always tell me how much smarter Pete was than everyone else and how much Pete's players loved him and loved to play for him. Needless to say, I spent my childhood watching the Seahawks dominate the NFC West. With my old man, with Papa Pete at the helm, and they were some of my favorite memories of my lifetime. There were times I'll never take for granted and times that bring a smile to my face whenever I think about them. I lost my dad in September of 2021, and not a day has gone by that I don't miss him, that I don't think about him. My dad was my best friend, and when he left me, and I would give up just about anything to watch just one more football game with him. I will never forget the morning it was announced early by Ian Rappaport that the Raiders were working on finalizing a deal to make Pete Carroll the next head coach of our Las Vegas Raiders. It was the most bittersweet moment of my life, as I was getting my favorite coach to ever coach football on my favorite team of all time, but also got all teary-eyed because the only thing I truly wanted to do in that moment was call my dad to let him know Pete's back, and he's coaching my Raiders. Life comes at you full circle sometimes, and for at least the next 3 years, something has happened I never truly thought was possible. I get a big piece of my dad back that I get to share with the great and glorious Raider Nation as I sit down on Sundays by myself to watch Pete Carroll lead our Raiders back to the greatness, and knowing that my dad is watching from the heavens saying, "Son, it's time to compete." I love football. Anyway, Michelle, I'm sorry if I got you emotional via this email. I just needed to share this with the three of you and my Raiders Fan Radio family. Michelle, you truly do such an amazing job reading these emails. Thank you. I love you and all, and I am very grateful member of the great and glorious Raider Nation. Forever and always, your guy, Van City Raider.
Oh, man, that's awesome.
Well done.
I'm sorry I missed that email.
I'm glad we caught it.
Yeah, no kidding.
That's the thing about sports, and it's so beautiful, and especially us Raider fans, is the bond that it forms, and with our kids, and whether it's when they're young or as they get older, like your daughter Libby's really coming around after you guys went to that game this year, like that, or for me it was for as long as I can remember existing, the Raiders were a thing with my dad and my uncles, and the stories that got passed down and all that stuff. And so those bonds and those connections, man, that's special to hear that. And so thank you, Van City, for sharing that. Yeah. That's cool. What a cool connection for him too.
Yeah.
Connected back to his dad's squad. Like that's cool, man.
That is cool. Yeah.
And that's why we give to Raider Dad.
Yeah,
dude.
You know what I
100%.
mean? Like, I mean, because we all have stories like that about, you know, us and our parental figures, our dads and stuff, and how we connected through sports and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, I mean, that's great, man. So respect to you. I'm sorry for your loss back in 2021. And yeah, and I love Martin in the chat said, because he said he sits alone and watches Raider games. Martin said, "You're never alone."
Yeah.
You got the nation with you. So, so respect, dude.
Absolutely.
Respect.
Absolutely. You know, we're all right there with you, brother. Absolutely. That's cool. We need to do a watch party, something. I know a lot of the other shows do that, so I don't want to make someone else's thing become our thing or whatever. A lot of maybe like once a year or something like that.
Once a year, I think that'd be
we
fun.
to do a little watch party kind of thing.
That would be
cool.
fun.
That would be fun. All right, we got one more to get to, so let's get to. I believe this is Jay in St. Louis.
Murf, Swaggo, Michelle. It's Jay from St. Louis. I was just calling because, like, there's a few things that could go on this off season that would either make me really fucking hyped or just, like, set my expectations as we're going to be ass cheeks, like booty cheeks. And,
trash ass booty trash.
Too, but, like, obviously, if we could draft Shedeur Sanders or Cam Ward, that would just make me so excited because that's hope for the future, not just for next year. And I see all of these articles, oh, the Raiders could do this. I'm not getting my hopes up, but that's like what I want. You know, that's obviously day one. Now, what would still keep me excited for this season is a trade for a Matt Stafford and drafting a young quarterback to go behind him for a couple years. Now, what would absolutely just make me fucking hate this season is if we go after a fucking Sam Darnold or do, like, basically nothing. And I'll know this year it's a wrap. We're probably going to trade next, and it's just going to be all bad, you know. But, yeah, that's me. Like, I just have a few avenues there. Obviously, there needs to be a change at quarterback, but what change it is going to determine a lot of things. And if it's Sam Darnold, the fucking insurance agent, Lego man, it's a wrap. Season's over. We're gonna
a Lego man.
But if we could, like, I want Matt Stafford, man. Matt Stafford on this team, we are a fucking Super Bowl contender. Sam Darnold on this team, we might make the playoffs and get embarrassed like the Vikings. That's all I'm gonna say. Pipe dream is Shedeur, but can't wait for the show. Hope you guys have a great week, and hopefully it's warmer there now. Peace out.
It is.
Hey, thank you, Jane St. Louis. Like the Bahamas up in here today.
Man,
yeah, sure was,
low
man.
70s, beautiful
Gorgeous.
outside. Yeah, it's been gorgeous.
Gorgeous.
Of course, it was fake spring though. We're gonna get another cold snap still.
Yeah.
Gets us every time.
Every time. But appreciate you, Jay in St. Louis. Appreciate you very much for calling the show. Appreciate everybody that called tonight. Everybody, all two of you. 909-345-3346. Appreciate all the emails tonight. And so Swag Jeff awards the Sizzler Award to the best emailer or phone caller of the night. Tough crowd. Tough time tonight, Jeff.
Tough time.
Yeah.
Tough time for sure.
Who do you got?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we had 4 amazing emails tonight. Hooligan Nation, Martin, Van City Raider, and Paul. And then, of course, on the voicemails, we had a couple of OGs. We had Jacob in Fresno and Jay in St. Louis. Tonight's Sizzler Award goes to a guy that almost didn't make the show. So tonight's Sizzler Award goes to our friend up north. That is Van City Raider.
Hey, awesome.
Sizzler. We are Metallica, and we are here for your Oakland Raiders!
You know why we out here, and we ain't playing around today.
From The Walking Dead to errant Jedi Knights, Raiders fans are a rogues gallery.
Matt Stafford.
Oh, Matthew. Just load up all the Bulldogs, man.
Why not?
I'm all about it. Just might as well just freaking load. And they were, who was it? Was it Spytek or was it Pete? One of them got asked about all the Georgia players there.
Oh, yeah.
And they were talking about just how,
Spytek,
I think it was Spytek. Yeah. talking about all the Georgia players. I'm all about it, man. There's a reason they compete for national championships every single year. Like for a minute, there was Alabama. Like it seemed like everybody out of Alabama was getting drafted. And now, over the past handful of years, it's been Georgia. And hey, keep bringing them. Keep bringing them dogs. We'll take them all. We will take them all. Yeah. Absolutely. So appreciate you, Raider Nation, so very, very much for joining us for this episode of Raiders Fan Radio. No live show next week, but we'll be back with a rundown, I'm sure. Maybe. I mean, it's post-combine, so we should probably do a little something.
Okay. It won't be Wednesday. You'll be out of town.
I'll be out of town. Never mind. We're nothing going on next week. Never mind.
Strike that. Reverse it.
Scratch that. Yeah, so we're all on vacation next week.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah. So, but appreciate you, Raider Nation. We still might do something maybe the end of the week or something. We'll know. Hang in there.
Dude, and then when we come back, free agencies have kicked off. Man, that show's going to be
That's going to be the one.
Fun.
That's the one.
That's going to be the one. Yeah. So, all right.
Lock in, everybody.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Appreciate you, Raider Nation, again for joining us live. Thank you for all the amazingly kind super chats that came in tonight. I'm incredibly thankful for all those super chats. Thank you to everybody that has bought our merch. And it will buy merch. Coming up, we've got a couple of new things in the store. Please check them out. 100% of that money that we raise will go to the One Nation Foundation. I appreciate everybody that's in the chat room tonight. There's the other one there. That's the one, man.
I love that one.
That one's a good one right there.
Yeah.
It's just search for Raiders Fan Radio on TeePublic.
That's right.
That's right.
That's right. 100%.
Yep.
And thanks for everyone for being here tonight. Robert Pena, Paul.
Don't want to toss it to Michelle?
I already did. I already
thought you
shouted
did.
out free agency. The free. I kind of just
stay with the show, pal. It's almost over, but just stick with it.
Well, maybe Michelle didn't get an opportunity to say something
No,
else.
I did. I shouted out the next show would be free agency, and I was excited about that.
Sure.
I don't have anything else to say.
All right. Jeff's always cutting you off over there.
Can I talk now? Can I talk now? I got 12 seconds. Hold on. I got to back this up a little bit.
Pause.
Oh my gosh.
I'm done.
Robert Pena, Rodrigo in there, Martin, Paul, Chuck Raider, Jordan Ford, SoCal Sal, Juan Hernandez, Raider Dank Vader, Chuck Raider, Martin. Thanks for being here, everybody. On behalf of Michelle, on behalf of Murf, my name's Swag Jeff. You've been listening to Raiders Fan Radio, where we take a lighter side journey into the dark side. And don't forget, boys and girls, what happens in Vegas started in Oakland. We love you guys. Much respect, Raider Nation. See you. Bye.